Good. Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. But we'll go out and play some Frisbee. King, you want to go play some Frisbee? Let's go do it. Let's go. Oh, wait. Let's do this officially. Let's do it officially. Boom. So King and I are going to go do some flat work. Let's go, handsome. Come on, Superman. King. Right, this here versus this. And you can see him shift. Come on, right? You can see him shift each time. And that shift is, it might be the thing that is necessary for you to get your dog to flip. Yes, good man. Aus. Aus, yes. Uh-oh. CupCake, you got shit all over the floor. What are you doing? Why? Why? Oh, you got hosed. You got hosed. There are only 2. Make it out. Hey. You're a savage. What happened? You're so soft. So soft now. Oh, fucking funny. CupCake, I can't reach it. Epic zip. Zip. What? Oh my gosh. CupCake, I can't reach it. Yeah. Whoa, look at it. Zip. Yes. Frisbee is about the stuff between the tricks, right? You have 36 tricks in a freestyle routine, maybe, if you're lucky. It's a lot of tricks, right? So 36, 32, 36, right? That's pretty packed freestyle routine. Each trick takes anywhere from half a second to 1.5 seconds, right? The actual trick, yeah? So what are you doing for the other minute 30, minute 45, right? All the stuff happens between the tricks. Go, go, go. Through and flip. Good. Ouse. Go, go, go. Ouse. Yes, ouse. Up, up, up. Ouse. See, I got it this time. Through. Yes, ouse. Yes. Do it, Epi. Badass. Go, go, go. Through and flip. Good. Ouse. Go, go, go. Ouse. Yes, ouse. Up, up, up. Ouse. Good. Right there. Yes, good. 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 Ouse. Through. Yes, ouse. Yes. Badass. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Swap that up. How is it going, everybody? Welcome to the dojo. Ron, trusty co-host. Epi, loyal co-host. King, CupCake. So, what's going on? What's going on? Had a cool class today. You missed Byron. Missed a good one. And we talked about a little bit of this that I'm going to talk about tonight. What's up, Sage Paw? So yeah, tonight we're going to talk about the subjective aim and associated thoughts and ideas. Right, Epi? Right. We're going to do some things for a purpose. Our purpose with dog training is, one way that we can look at it is through the subjective aim of the concrescent play. And it's kind of a neat way to look at it. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to demonstrate some examples of it. I'm going to work on some of the stuff I've been working on with CupCake and King. And going to do, I had something I was going to do with Epi that demonstrate this idea of subjective aim. Cool. And I'm taking requests. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. I'll get to them. Get off me, hair. Get off me. Freaking CupCake. Her and King, man, they got some hair problems. They got some real friggin' hair problems. Looking at me like I got cookies. That's what he's looking at. Looking at me like I got cookies in here. So, I continue to be freaked out by the Play Plus queuing stuff. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. We'll pull that up. Look at that. Perfect timing. So, we have, I don't want that. I want this. Shabanya. Preview. Crescent play. So, this map here, this is map of the trigger process that we've been using. This is a play, a single instance of play, right? And it scales up actually to the sequence and session level, right? It really depends on what our subjective aim is. So subjective aim is how the process wants to be resolved from the time that it's set up. So we give the cue, and the dog lights up. Oh, we're going to do the thing. At that moment, those things on the left, the perished objects, appear, essentially. They're prehended by the cue. The cue tells the dog, this is happening right now. The dog takes all the available information from the environment and all of the perished objects, feelings and emotions, that's what's left when we're done with our experiences, takes them and grasps them, and that's that prehension idea. So our current emotions and feelings of everything, emotions and feelings of earlier reps. This one is particularly important. Emotions and feelings, memories of unsatisfied or unsatisfactory reps. That's really key. And then our failures and other experiences that may have not been so well. So I give the cue, that is prehended, right? That is grasped by the subject. These things shoot into the physical pole, right? And I'm going to pull up something real quick. So I want more of the images. So I will open up all of these. We'll walk through it. Boom. And we'll go over here, and I will go boom. All right. So we have the dog, right? We have a cue and a trigger. I give the cue, and the perished objects are prehended by the dog. That's everything in the environment, all the pedestals, all the smells, all the feelings of being in this dojo. All the feelings of being in this dojo when I give the cue. All the feelings of being in this dojo when I give the cue, and all of the unsatisfying successes of the cue. Anything related. Our failures and other things that may have gone poorly with this type of situation. Those things are shot to the physical pole. They manifest at the physical pole. And that is our classical condition. That is the state that we're in when we start the behavior. We have a classically conditioned state before that we inherit. This essentially overwrites and updates that. And that leaves us with a subjective tone. The subject is whoever is going through this. Dog, handler, and team go through this. And they go through it each as an individual entity and as a nexus together. So I would have a subjective tone on a rebound. Epi would have a subjective tone on the rebound. The team would have a subjective tone on the rebound. We can look at any of those. Again, the subjective tone is how the critter is feeling, and that is the classically conditioned state, emotionally and affectively, right? Physiological, shit that Pavlov deals with. Subjective tone in the cue, the mental pole appears. And actually, the mental pole calls for the subjective tone. So, once the mental pole is created, the subjective aim is being built, I think. I think that's probably a good way to put it. It's being built out of eternal objects. Eternal objects are the previous experiences. They are like the moments, the flashes of brilliance that were of import to us. Turning this way, like this, on this grass, those kinds of things. These are behavioral concepts, behavioral facts. Those are real simple things. The feeling of touching my nose to something, giving attention, right? Those would be behavioral concepts. A hand target would be a behavioral fact. A sit behavior may be a behavioral fact. Behaviors would be longer things like pedestal or heel position, right? Particularly things that are layered and have that are multifaceted. And then we have processes, how we do things, how we taught things, how we learned things, right? Essentially sequences of events that the dog understands that can be prehended, right? Those things are going to live on as eternal objects after we're done with the process. So we wait a moment after we give the cue, and there's this aporia thing that happens. Aporia is choosing to not take the question. It isn't just choosing. It's like being at a loss for words. Like, I don't even know how to I don't know how to respond. Well, of course you don't know how to respond yet. I haven't given you the trigger. And we're setting up that moment of aporia to allow the dog time and to facilitate the access of these behavioral concepts and to exercise the mental pole. These behavioral concepts are ingressed into the mental pole. They are harmonized with the subjective tone. Our subjective aim comes out of that. How close is our subjective aim, right? I'm all gung-ho, my dog is terrified. Subjective aim not looking too good. Mine looks pretty good, my dog's not looking good at all, right? At this point in time, the trigger is pulled, and if we run through this process, we achieve satisfaction, right? The satisfaction is for the process, not the cookie. That's the difference here, and this is kind of the method for that. And not the method, it's the process of that. The cookie is important, but the satisfaction is in going through the process. The cue is given, there's an itch and a scratch at the physical pole. Everything's assembled, the subjective tone comes out. Yeah, I feel really good about this. I love doing touch in the fucking dojo. It's amazing, right? I wait a moment, the handler waits.
There's an abstract reality created. Dog's like, hey, he's about 4 feet away. It looks like he's looking this way. I bet you he's going to touch me right there. And then all that stuff is pulled from eternal objects, past experiences that were notable, that are relatable here. And then I give the trigger, handler gives the trigger, dog springs into action. The abstract reality, and this is where satisfaction happens. The abstract reality either jumps out, either is confirmed, or it wasn't what I expected. Both of those are satisfying in that they add new data, new experiences, some form of a new eternal object to our collection of experiences. And that's what satisfaction is. And we go through this process all the time. This is what Alfred North Whitehead suggests is I don't know if it's what being is. It's how this works. It's how life works. This works at the atomic level. So with something like light, like a photon or an atom, the physical pole would be the sole response. The physical pole repeats habit. The physical pole repeats habit. There's a habit in there. And the basic things that don't have a mental pole, that don't think and don't do things like we would acknowledge as mental stuff, they have a physical pole. It just doesn't, it can't receive anything different. It can't prehend anything different. And its habit is very, very conformed. It would take something like a different electromagnetic field or state within the universe to change that thing into something else. And anyway, this model goes from inorganic critters to organic critters like us. It can model, I don't know, AIs and all kinds of stuff like that. It can model galaxies. And this concrescent process is how things go down. That's Whitehead's assertion. Through this format, through this process, and this all mathematically worked out too. It's a nut, man. It's amazing what he put together there. This is a way for us to map and speak intelligently in the same manner about a stone and a human. And so anyway, it's super cool. We give the dog a moment of aporia, and the dog creates that subjective reality, or I'm sorry, abstract reality. And it's that creation of the abstract reality, the essential itch of the physical pole to do the thing, right? Which is to go through this process, not to get the cookie. It's pretty important, actually. You get this itch to do the thing, and the mind goes to work on it. And then we get the opportunity to see that plan satisfied and have that itch to achieve scratched. And that's what we're trying to do here, I think. That's what I think we're trying to do with behavior, is to get the dogs interested in doing the thing and having them have a physiological and emotional response to doing the thing, rather than to just have the physiological response over the cookie, right? Behaviorists would not like that. That leads to funky results in the lab. That ruins my experiment. 1 creative dog ruined or 4 creative dogs out of 12 ruined my experiment. Oh, deep stuff, deep stuff. It is. And I watch these I'm into philosophy and kind of the artificial intelligence, neuroscience guys. They overlap quite a bit. And this very topic is all frickin' over the place. And it's not the same type. The mental and physical pole is all over right now. Like right this moment, it's really wild. And the physical and the mental, the fact that the physical is where we take in reality, wham, and it all happens, and the mental, how we process it and how we deal with it. And we just keep firing that sequence over and over again. So there's a subjective aim in here. The reason I talked about all that fucking weird shit and talked so long about it is that the subjective aim at the scratching the itch level is to make that shit stop. Just fucking make that shit stop, dude. You know what I mean? That's what, when you get in the way of affect in the seeking system, there are real problems that can develop. It does not like to be thwarted. You know what I mean? So at the base level, this subjective aim, I'm thinking is really based on the seeking system. We're talking about dog training here, not jamming, right? So with dog training, when the subjective tone happens of a fearful response, the seeking system goes ape shit, right? And runs to the mental pole with this subjective tone of shitting my pants, right? The dog, not me, I'm cool. Always be cool when your dog loses their shit. Don't do it too, it's bad. So the seeking system tears off, looking for the fear affect system to engage that, so that the dog can create an abstract reality out of the things on hand, past experiences and emotions here, out of the things that are relevant that I remember from previous attempts, and I create my abstract reality out of that. And then I fucking run like hell to the place. All that stuff is to get me to scratch that itch of that affect, right? And to fulfill the subjective aim of like a purely emotive-driven affect like fear. And so this thing, the subjective tone, the classical condition being in play and adjustable on every rep and adjustable by every rep is frickin' critical. We're not allowed to put the classical condition in the behavior at all. We can't have it anywhere near the behavior. If we were to change classical conditions, I'd have to have another control group and 12 more dogs, 24 more dogs, right? I would need to do this differently. I can't just have heart rate at 60 to 80 beats per minute. Heart rate at X, right? But the seeking system being the physical pole of the emotional affect system from affective neuroscience, and the other ones living in the mental pole. And that kind of explains how the seeking system is so fucking busy. I think it's a super busy system. And it interacts in strange ways with the other affects. And so I really dig that, man. And this thing, these two poles, the mental and physical pole, put the classical condition in the behavior. The classical condition is the thing that limits the realm of acceptable possibilities for the subjective aim. Right? It's just dog training stuff. All this stuff that I'm talking about you don't have to change anything in your training at all, except for how you reinforce sometimes, what you think reinforcement is, which is fucking kind of, go ahead, try and figure out what reinforcement is. Good luck. And you have to approach approach it process-wise rather than the way that it has been. And you don't have to run away from the classical condition. Like, I'm going to do reps with CupCake to shape a classical condition. I'm going to do pertinent reps towards, I want to do a standing multiple, right? Juggle or shuffle, preferably both. And so I'm going to work towards that very directly. But at the same time, I'm going to make sure that I try to do it in a fashion that creates the proper subjective tone. And I want to deliver to her subjective aims, right? Subjective aims within the process of doing it and the concepts themselves. So I'm going to firm up these concepts, and I'm going to use this time to create and hit subjective aims that are nice and criteria specific, right? So a subjective aim is the goal. I think one of the biggest problems with dog training is that the subjective aim of most handlers is to get the behavior done. Just get the behavior done. If we get the behavior done and I get a cookie on it, the dog will do it again, right? And I don't think that's true. It certainly isn't that simple, right? And you can see why here. When we just crank through it and get it done, if the dog struggles through the behavior and gets a cookie at the end, even if the dog struggles through the behavior and gets a shit ton of cookie at the end, right? They bring to the table on the next time they hear that cue the emotions and feelings of earlier reps and unsatisfied or unsatisfying successes. And most of the time the dog chases a cookie through and gets it through an arduous learn. It isn't good on this end. It isn't beneficial. The only thing you got is the cookie over here. And that requires more cookies because this reduces your subjective tone is stressed because, oh, fuck, I got to go through all that stress again. I mean, I know I get a bunch of cookies at the end, but shit, right? And while it does have resiliency and all kinds of positive attributes to succeed arduously, you probably don't want to be succeeding arduously on a standing multiple. You want that to be as efficacious and effortless as possible, right? You want your dog to hear stand and be like, fuck yeah, throw those discs at me, right? You don't want the dog to hear stand, oh my God, I'm going to stand, this is going to be painful, right? So the subjective aim of the handler to get the behavior and get a cookie on it, the traditional positive training mantra, is potentially damaging, man. Like, I'm really pissed at myself for not being on this before. And I can change it through my current work. It's super awesome. Yeah, it is a perished object in that sense, because it's prehended, right? If it's prehended, your eternal objects got baggage on them, right? But they're after the prehension, they're after the setting of the tone of the subjective tone. So the physiology and the classical condition are set. I think I'm going through a bunch. I'm still not all the way through the book. I've went through about half of the book, and I'm processing reality, and it's pretty unbelievable text. I should try and read some to you. It's fucking nuts. But the eternal object is the active part. And the perished object are just, the eternal object is a cognitive mental construct. The perished objects are the feelings and emotions from that. And so it does bring baggage in, but it brings it in on the prehension end. And then there's some harmonizing. There's some harmonizing between the subjective tone and the subjective aim to get shit together after we get a plan together, right? There's a harmonizing process that happens. And then the subjective aim is adjusted, and satisfaction, the trigger's shot through the natural process in most cases. But with us, I pull the trigger. I actualize the behavior as the handler. So, nope, not at all. A good mapper. So, the subjective aim of the handler, when it is get the behavior and get the cookie on the dog, because that will reinforce the behavior, that's a pretty narrow subjective aim. And it doesn't leave the dog with much to go on, especially if we struggle with it, like shaped or whatever. And I don't mean struggle with it like you can't do it. I mean, we noodle around with it and we get non-committal on what we're doing, and then we're like, fuck it, we'll just crank it out. I got it. We fucked around with this long enough, and wham, you knock it out because you're a strong handler, right? When that happens, the subjective aim becomes follow the handler. Get the cookie. Don't think, just wait, and it'll come to you, quite literally in the form of your handler. And then the subjective aim of the handler being on the catch in Frisbee. There's a time for that. Oops, I can't reach it. There's a time for that. And it's when, Epi, easy, buddy, easy. Oh no, did you ruin it? You ruined it. You ruined it. You were too aggressive. Oh no, hang on, I have to disappear. Hang on. This will go poorly. He'll eat someone or go crazy. I dropped my lighter and he threw it under the desk down here. So when the handler has the subjective aim set on the disc alone, or catching the disc, or doing the vault like I see it in my head, when that happens, the dog is in trouble, because we're not going to do it like that, right? The handler isn't even here. The handler isn't even in this moment. The handler is in the catch or in their head, doing it like it looks, right? And that, I think, is a real problem, because then the dog puts out and puts forth serious effort towards it and achieves. And the handler is pissed because the handler's subjective aim was not met. Yeah, he brings it. He brings it. It went under the table. He wasn't going to stop. Were you, Epi? What are you doing over there? Leave it alone. So this subjective aim, setting it and getting towards your main goal while setting a subjective aim that gives you the concepts that your main goal requires, and knowledge about those concepts and the processes used to make them, while cranking out achievement-based successful reps. That's what I want to do here. and that's going to make my dog super successful, knowing that they're successful, is going to have my dog knowing what these things are. It's this and this and this. And then when it comes time to prehend reality at the cue and establish the classically conditioned tone, I'm going to have a dog that's like, fuck yeah, this shit's easy, right? If I want it to be hotter, like a sharper, more agitated, aggressive, subjective tone, I will do some of the concept things sharper and more aggressively. That gives me something to work on when I'm playing. I can work on playing really hard and aggressive and playing soft and easy. Haven't done it. You know, might be really nice. The point is, through my work and through good selection of subjective aim, I can get my classically conditioned state of my dog changed and adjusted, and I can deliver good solid concepts to the dog's little brain that they can then use to achieve many skills like that. That's what I intend to do. Today, that's what we're doing. That's what I intend to do. I'm going to get burned at the cross in a Skinner box. All right, let me swap this. Oh, come on. There we go. How cool is that? Right? All right, so I am going to do stand with duration. I'm going to do stand. I'm going to do attention during the stand, maybe a hand target during the stand. I'll do a few of them. I'll do a couple where I stand, yes, cookie, 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 while. And then off, yes, cookie, right? I'll do a few like that. And then I'll do a few where I rely on the added value and the concept of off, of cessation of duration. And I will ask the dog to do the skill stand, boom, off, yes, and we'll pay. And I'll do a couple of those. And that's what I'm going to do first with CupCake. I'm going to do these on the thing with King in a little more playful manner. But I'm going to try and get my subjective aim together on that, and I'll keep you posted as we do that. With CupCake, I'm also going to do some pedestal work, and I'm going to try to keep my subjective aim at get the criteria. Yeah, I should send it to you actually for animation. I should totally send this to you for animation. I struggle with that a bunch. I should send this to you for animation. Je suis fromage. I got it all. I can even tidy up. I had it all tidy and then I threw other shit on here. The Photoshop file. But, all right, so let's do this thing with CupCake real quick. Good job, Epi. Oh, you knocked it over. Hey. Up, over here. Yep, that's it. That's where you're going to be. All right, and we got CupCake. We can see CupCake over here, right? Off, yes. Excuse me, dude. Thank you. Dude. Ready? Stand. Boom. Off. Yes, good. Awesome. Stand, yes. So there's the eye contact, yes. Epi zip, off, yes, good. We'll do one more of those. Stand, Yes. Yes. Off. Yes. And then stand. Off. Yes. Good girl. Stand. Off. Good. Do one more. Stand. Off. Yes. Good girl. Awesome. Go do dog stuff. Epi. Fucking come on, dude. Come on. All right. So I got each of the skills that I wanted. I knocked it out nice. She did a good job. I pushed it a little bit. I didn't push it long. I didn't push it super hard. Didn't push it super far. Right? Yeah, it looks nice, right? Nice and controlled. It looks like she's controlling what she's doing. That's what I want. So if we go back to this graphic, right? If we go back to the graphic, I gave her the cue. I waited a moment. She prehended the cue. I don't need to wait for that. But I give her the cue and she's like, sweet, stand, woohoo. First few, she really popped up pretty hard, right? And then she settled in, did a nice job. The emotions and feelings from previous reps come in. Dude, it's fucking embarrassing, Epi. Her earlier reps come in. Unsatisfied successes. We've been pretty good about this. I've been putting process on it the whole time. Again, it's going through the process, not whether or not I did the behavior. That's my subjective aim as a handler if I'm not fucking doing a good job, right? Just getting the behavior is not enough. And just giving the dog a cookie is not enough. They have to engage their brain and the mental pole, and they have to know that they're doing it. And of course, they don't have to. You can do it without that. You can run through it in a blur and, have to do 1,000,000 reps to get your eternal objects, right? So anyway, the dog prehends everything. Subjective tone is set. Good working tone for the dog. Dog's not over the top, not crazy. I give a moment, at which point in time she realizes where we're standing and all that shit. She waits for me to pop the trigger. All of these things come into thing. We're going to do this and that, and he's this far away, so it's probably going to go up there. I trigger with the hand signal. Dog does the behavior. She gets paid, she gets paid, she gets paid, she gets paid. Off. There's the satisfaction. This cue leads to this trigger. And if I allow the dog to be part of the process in there, or I expect the dog to, they will be satisfied because an itch will have been made and it will have been scratched. And so the cookie becomes not the point. And that's super important. It's super important. My subjective aim there was intact. I was in good. I worked her on what I wanted. I clearly delivered understanding on the critical criteria. We were pretty much flawless, right? It was nice and simple. Her classically conditioned state was great. Woohoo, right? And all of my eternal objects going forward into the future, those were pretty good reps. There were only like 5 or 6 of them too. So woohoo, right? That's awesome. She'll be gung ho on that. I'm going to do king now, and we'll lose this map like in general because I don't have any idea what's going to happen. I don't have any idea it's going to happen. So good luck with that. I don't know, first of all, but I will feel free to speculate because nobody's going to fucking know for a long time. So I would like seeking to go to play, right? And in this context, I think it immediately went to play, right? Out on the field, it would immediately go to play. So there are 7 base affects. You have seeking, play, rage, lust, care, panic, grief, fear. Right? Those are the 6 base affects outside of the seeking system. I think all of those live at the mental pole. Maybe fear lives at the physical pole too. I'm pretty sure it's just all that shit's at the mental pole. And so the seeking system gets the thing and is on it to engage the pertinent emotional affect. And that happens way down in the brain. That happens in, the midbrain, right? That stuff happens really, really deep in old anatomy. It happens before the mental pole fires, which is pretty cool. I'm super interested in that aspect of it, Matt. I'm very, very interested in that because putting the classical and operant on the page at the same time and in relationship to each other in a feedback relationship it's what fucking dog training needs. It's what dog training completely needs, man. We have no method for that, and we're so messed up by the soul, by no emotion, right? And we're not allowed to conflate operant and classical. Just in general, it's not a good practice within behaviorism. Like, you have to get a whole new set of dogs and do another arm of the experiment for that. And, life isn't a Skinner box. So, anyway. Yeah, you need a binary at least to do, like, it really is rough to mentally plan and fix things when you really only have, yes or no on one pole, right? Yes or no on one pole, starting from another. Now I have an apparatus I can game, right? And that's what I'm wanting to do. I want to game this apparatus, right? And I think great dog trainers, good dog trainers, that's what they do. They game this apparatus. We're using this all the time. We're just not allowed to see it. That's my assertion. And it doesn't require any change on your part to your dog training. Slightly different understanding of the marker. You don't even have to change that. You just won't get the full effect. So King here, I'm going to try this. Epi, come on, handsome. Easy, easy, easy. Wow. Good work. Good work. That is a really tough ball to do solo, buddy. You are a star. CupCake. In and in. Yes. Nope, dude. All right, you ready, King? We're going to do the thing. Are you ready? We had a good... Dude, get up there, Epi. Ready? Oh, that was it. That was it. Dude. Get it, kid. You ready? CupCake, that'll do. Ready? Oh. Ready? You can get it. You can get it. You got it. You ready? Uh-oh. Awesome. Go do dog stuff. I'll throw more at you in a second. throw more at you in a second. Ready? Ready? Come on, King. Zip, CupCake. Oh, do you see it now? Do you see it? Do you see it? Get it, King. Oh, what are you doing? So, the subjective aim here on the dog. All I want is for him to kind of go after it. When I was working, CupCake, dude, when I was working yesterday on it, there's this thing when I don't ever like do it like this, by the way. I always work from bite work. And I was having problems with the bite work. And I thought I would get further with these. Dude, go. It has to do with Epic in here. So I'm going to give this one more shot with Epic not in here. I'll play a video and put Epi away. But I want to work Epi first. So when I'm working with the dog, I'll throw the roller and the dog will look at the handler, a dog who only works one toy. Right? I'll get the drop, yes, and I'll throw the roller and the dog will stay looking at me and everyone laughs. And I throw the roller again and the dog is looking at me. And I throw the roller again and the dog looks at the roller. Once the dog looks at the roller, I have that dog. Once the dog looks at the roller, they have the subjective aim. They have a subjective aim. They know that something's happening in that regard. And so I'm trying, my subjective aim is essentially to get him to have a subjective aim that's the same as mine. That's kind of what my subjective aim is. And I didn't quite know how to say it when we lined up. You ready? You ready? Oh. Get it. Yeah. You ready? Get it. Yes, good man. What? Whoa. You ready? Yes. Oh. Oh, you can go get it. Go get it. You know what, man? Let me put Epic. Let me put Epic away. Give me just a minute. Come on out. I'll be right back. Give me 30 seconds. King, hold down the fort. King, Epic. All right, let's see what happens now. Let's see what happens now. Are we here? Anybody here with me? All right, now, my kind of hypothesis is that King is going to catch these toys. That's my hypothesis. Because the tyranny of Epi has disappeared. Ready? Here we go. Ready? Ah, good. Oh. Ready? Yes. Ready? Yeah, good. I got nothing. So I'm kind of just offering these in some kind of novel fashion, right? Ready? Ready? I don't even have CupCake sip. I don't even have, oh yeah, you see it, right? You see it. Anything that shows interest in the toy, I'm going to reinforce. You ready? Yes! Ouse! Yes, ouse! Oh, I'm going to take it. That's mine. You ready? Oh, good try. Ready? What are you spooky about? What are you spooky about? Is it the lights? Yes, ouse. Yes. Dude, what'd you do with that? What'd you do with that? Huh? Ready? Yes. Yeah. Oh. So if he gives me that super weak thing, I'm just going to kind of kill it. You ready? Oh, good try. Oh, yeah, it's getting away. See it? What? All right. All right, one more try, King. One more try. By the way, we had this issue, not this issue, but I realized, you ready? Yeah, that's it. Yes, good. Oh, that wasn't it. I'm going to get it. Do you want it? Do you want it? You can't have it. You can't have it. That's mine. That's mine. That's mine. I realized that he wouldn't play with other toys. This was like in October of last year, and I forgot about it. Oh, good try. Oh. Yes. Uh-oh. Do you want it? Do you want it? Yeah. What? What? All right. Go do dog stuff. That's it. That's it. That's what you got, King. That wasn't a good session. That wasn't a good session. It was okay, though. He looked at the toy a bunch. I'm cool with that. Big difference between Epi and... yeah, I'm going to struggle every bit as much with him touching it as catching it. Probably more so. Probably more so. I could do it. I could put a forced hold on him, right? And that's not a bad thing. I could put a forced hold on him. That's what I do on the stream anyway. It's a pretty cool training technique. Service dog trainers use it a lot, and you can do it without an ear pinch. You can do it, and you make them do it. But I would like him. I would like him to try things, if that makes sense. So he's not very exploratory with behavior. And I'm not very direct with my interaction with behavior, right? I would like him to take the opportunity and make that catch. And I totally could do a take there, but shaping a take there would be a pretty long-term effort. And I think it would be probably harder. If I get this catch, I have all of it. If I do the take and the give, I'll have to kind of generalize that to the catch, right? And I might have to do the whole series of events up to the catch anyway, right? And I want to do it with frisbees right away. So poor subjective aim, I guess. Yeah. Yep. Now really trying something new. Trying to do it like with the intent to shape it, right? To make it come together. I do think I am gonna work the frisbees though. I'll see what happened with that exercise with the frisbee. So I think the point of the toolbox or the toy box, Skinner's toy box is what I'm calling this when I use toys on it. And I'm King, up, yes. I'm using it for the locking down of everything, like you would use a Skinner box. And I'm using it particularly with toys. Catch. Dude. Excuse me. King. Catch. Mine. Yes. Mine. Yes. Mine. Excuse me. King, a pup? Yes. Get it. Get it. Ready? That'll do. Ready? Dirty dog stuff. I think I blew it bringing the discs out. I did not expect him to blast off of the pedestal like that. Did not expect him to blast off the pedestal like that. I do think I will do some gives on the pedestal, but I can't quite even get. I want the give without the head dropping, right? Mine. Yes. Yes. Mine. 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 Yes. Good. Yes. Mine. Yes. Come on. Yeah, good. Get up here. King. Come on. Damn it. Good idea, King. Come on. Get up there. Get up there. Mine. Yes. Awesome. Mine. Excuse me. Go do dog stuff. All right. That wasn't bad. But it's not, so he's fucking coming unglued with that, right? He's so over threshold, even seeing the Frisbee, right? I might be able to, but there's going to be so much value on the disc that the toy is not even there. I shouldn't even have gotten the disc out. I should have hard-assed it with the toy, is what I should have done. But I thought I might be able to create game and then switch to the toys. But when a dog has when the toy is like 80, 90% of what they're doing, when the cookie is 80 or 90% what they're doing, you're fucked. You're fucked. It's not okay. You have to have like 70-30, 60-40, right? You have to have some significant portion of the game that's handler-centric. If you don't, you get into trouble whenever the dog can make trouble with the reinforcer. You know what I mean? And it's not like that's a given that that's going to happen. Your likelihood of that happening is high. And I can handle him through his issues. Like I could go out and do a show and not have him do that, or have a low likelihood of him doing that. But if I were to get iced or whatever, I'd have to yell at him, "You chill, dude, ah." Yeah, you see him, right? He knows. He fucking knows. But I don't want to do that because it's a lot of weight. It's a lot of mental weight and mental baggage for me to carry around if I have to do that. You know what I mean? I don't want to carry that baggage around, and he needs to be able to do that. And so again, I've got it to where I can handle it, and I could probably muscle this juggle and shuffle on the pedestal into something functional, right? That's what I would have done before. I would have muscled it. But I would have made him so crazy in the classical condition that I would forever fight that, right? I would like to get a nice, easy give and take. I would like to get him to, if I get him to catch the other toys, I'm probably okay with the mauling. He doesn't know how to handle toys. That's a problem. And he's got some kind of weird complex about, I think he hates the toys, right? And not that he hates the toys, but there's something about him that is not right. the Frisbee's got to be tacoed, dude. Just fucking has to. That's the rule. And then there are toys he won't touch, you know, even on his own. So, whatever, who knows. Not a dog psychologist. I am interested in their affects, though. I am interested in their affects. So I'll try a little bit more of the tossing the toys. Get a couple other toys. I may or may not do it on the stream. I think I'll put a force hold on him on stream. Actually, that would be a really cool stream. Put a forced hold on him. And you know, I haven't done one through to fruition. I should probably. I've used it as like a supplement. I've taught a few dogs of my dogs the forced hold, and they all accept it. And they like to learn it. Actually, they dig it. But I haven't put it all the way through to completion. I do, oops, I can't reach it, I'm good. You know what I mean? There's no reason for me to do a force hold on it. And with Epi here and CupCake coming up, King doesn't have to do anything but be a badass. Ready? Ready? Yeah, come on. Ready, right here. Wait, right there. Ready? Boom. Yes. Aus. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Aus. Yes. Over. Boom. Yeah. Aus. Yes. Yes. Aus. Chill. Dude. Chill. Good work, handsome. Good job. Go to dog stuff. All right, CupCake, are you ready? Are you ready? All right. Come on, guys. Let's go. You guys need to go outside. Go potty. Boom Pow King. Yeah, and like I said, I can keep it moving and do shit with him. But that sucks, man. Fuck that. Right? Like, I want to be able to trust him to do his shit. I don't want to yell at him all the time. He'd take it too, by the way. He'd be totally fine with that. Within play, anything that makes the dog uncomfortable, any like aversive that really makes the dog uncomfortable. A dog needs to be safe, secure, and feeling good in order to play. And that's what Yank Panksepp says. Yak Panksepp, right? And so if you were to correct the dog or set up a situation that was ugly enough that the dog didn't want to do it, that's one thing. You can't punish a dog into play. You can't positively punish a dog into play, and that's not true. You totally can, man. All kinds of games hurt like hell. All kinds of games you take big hits. All kinds of games have those attributes, and everybody loves to play, and certain people love to play them. So those games are for certain people, and they become part of the play, right? So correcting the dog or whatever, like if it's part of the game, if it's part of the, they don't care. They don't care at all. And so I totally could, you know, run King not in my style and make him do the shit I want. And he's an amazing Frisbee dog, right? And I'd probably do pretty well with him. But I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it. I think I would find it to be work. And there would be a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't be good at. You know? Hi, are you ready to do it? Wow, you certainly are excited. Is something happening? Dude. Get your shit together, CupCake. Get your shit together. I know. See you. See you. So I would like that level of anxiety and animation to be like kind of her apex, I think. Right? It isn't too terribly bad. It is a little for me, especially with what I'm working and with working with King just now. So I'm gonna do a multiple and a juggle on the pedestal. I'm going to my subjective aim. Those of you guys who've been watching CupCake do this, she drops it and has all that fucking weird shit where she jumps off and runs around and does CupCake things. I want that to not happen. That's my subjective aim, right? So everything that I do within this session is going to be about not letting it go to that batshit level, right? And getting nice, clean transitions to the juggle or the multiple. I don't know which one I'm going to do first. I'm going to do them with takes, and I'm going to do them with replacing my hand. I would like to get that action going, so I want that action going. That might change, depending on how bad it goes with her dropping and having secondary interactions with the target. Are you ready, CupCake? Let's do it. Let's do it. CupCake. Yes. Ready? Go to dog stuff. So, rule number 3, never ever touch me, right? I decided to call, I'm going to call that a bite on the handler. The trigger is for the disc to go horizontal. And she should know that. She's excited, she's on the pedestal, we jump off, we do all the things, this is my domain, right? She's boisterous and full of herself. With certain Malinois and dogs that are like heavy with bite work, they're just heavy, they're scary and whatnot. Like an air snap or that Malinois squeal when they're, you know the sound. That would be enough for me to go do dog stuff. I don't want that level of bat shit to deal with. And it's okay, I don't care, right? I'm still hitting on my subjective aim. Mine? Yeah, mine. Yes. Yes. Mine. Yes. Mine. Yes. Dude. Mine. Yes. Mine. Mine. Awesome. Go to dog stuff. Wow, that was terrific, CupCake. I see you. Whoa, that was such an achievement. I know, such an achievement. So, mission fucking accomplished on my end, right? Complete mission accomplished. Nice and slow. Nice and easy. She fell off. She didn't drop it and spit it out and roll it around and do that shit. She came right up, put it in my hand. Those are perfectly, so that experience there, when she fell off, I would she was hot, ready to go, firing forward. When she fell off and she successfully navigated that without dropping it and with the fucking disc, right? That's an eternal object I need. I need that one. You know what I mean? That's the one I was hoping to get much later, right? If I do this one really solid, then she'll have good mechanics, and when it falls off, it won't go poorly. So that was kind of the move that I was really looking for, right? Was for her to make a mistake, efficiently and effectively fix it without any of the bullshit, right? That's what's going to happen when she's in her stand. We did the stand on the ground. I'm going to do the stand on the pedestal. CupCake, up, yes. Ready? Stand. Yes. Uh-oh. Off. Yes. Good girl. Stand. Off. Good. Stand. Yes. 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 Off. Good. Stand. Yes. Yes. Off. Yes. Good girl. Off. Yes. Good girl. That's great. I really need this this stand to have that duration angle. She needs to eat multiple cookies up there. Stall. Yes. Stand. Yes. 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 Come on. Off. Yes, good. So she's doing the stand. You see me offering the lure, right? Or the trigger. Stand, boom. Yes. Yes. Uh-oh. Off. Yes. And you can see her kind of leaving the trigger alone now. She's not going for it so much straight as a lure. Dog catch. Boom. Yes. Awesome. Great work. Wow. Off. Yes. Great job. Go to dog stuff. Oh, you got fooled, didn't you? You got fooled. Yeah, King, you missed it. You were already on the toy box. You decided that you don't like toys. So what I have there, I have the makings of this whole trick, right? I ask her to stand. I haven't been able to do that with a toy, by the way, right? As soon as I add the toy, I have a problem getting the stand. Her doing the pedestal with the stand and the pedestal with like immediately leaving the lure is important for that, right? She's going to start going up on the verbal as I'm setting my trigger. I'm going to have to impose the trigger on her, right? And when I have to impose the trigger on her, when I go up with my hand in the toy, she'll be super likely to go up. Until that point, she kind of needs the lure. She needs the prehensions of the environment, of the situation. She needs the lure being presented. She needs that. That's one of the key points. One of her eternal objects is probably, okay, then follow the lure. And that needs to be supplanted by do the thing. And she started to do the thing. If you know what you're looking at, you probably saw it, that she started going up independent of the trigger, or on the trigger to her position, not to the cookie, right? And so I'm going to put those things together, and I'm going to work on getting her nice and calm and chill and focused. I'm going to work on her having the same subjective aim that I have. We're going to stand, we're going to either eat cookies or wait for off. And then I'm going to get cookies. Like, she needs to be in on that game. And if she's in on that game with me, she'll pull those cards and play those cards when it comes time. And my standing, so there's a cue and there's a trigger, Venice, Michelle. The cue sets up the idea. The trigger makes it happen. If you don't have a trigger, the dog holds the trigger, right? So in high-level obedience, or when you have two tricks that are the same and you need them to be precise and they start with the same letter, you realize that when you say the dog sits or stands, one or the other, depending on the situation. And you hit a level of training or performance where that actually matters. At which point in time you have to do circus, sassafras, sit, yes. Circus, sorted, stand, yes. And you find out that there actually is a trigger on that skill. And when you do that exercise that I just laid out, the trigger is the end of the word. In Frisbee, everything that we do, like I move and the dog moves to jump off of me at the same time. That has to be highly coordinated and cooperative. So we, in Frisbee, the traditional view in Frisbee has been for some time, is to give the verbal, then the physical, right? So you give the verbal cue and then you give the physical cue that actually actualizes the behavior. And that's done for timing purposes. I don't have to time the dog if I have a trigger. The dog times me. Another thing about a trigger, when I give a wait, that is a trigger cue. CupCake, up, yes, wait. So that's a trigger cue. She's looking for the first thing, boom, yeah, boom, that happens. The first conditioned response, right? And that first conditioned response from the wait is the trigger. Dog catch, boom, right? Off. And so the wait is the trigger. The trigger is a wait when I go to do a leg vault with her. King, go do dog stuff, piss off. Actually, you know what? I'll do it with you, King. CupCake, get up there. Yes. So, King, wait, top, boom, right? That first movement, ouse, dude, yes, through, wait, he's stuck. Even though he wants to maul that disc, he's stuck because the trigger's set. Yes, good man. Mine. Dude. So the wait, go do dog stuff, releases to a conditioned response. That conditioned response is some sort of trigger. And when you have cue and trigger, you tell the dog what we're going to do. The dog constructs this abstract reality that's I give the cue. The dog prehends the reality around them and the previous experiences, and that sets the dog's subjective tone, which is the dog's classical condition. That's the physical pole. So the physical pole then engages with the mental pole, right? The mental pole pulls in eternal objects, which are the experiences that we've had that were successful, that were iconic. Our behavioral concepts, what it is to touch the hand, what it is for my ass to hit the ground, what pressure is from the handler, behavioral facts, a hand target, a alternate surface target, an object target, behaviors which are more complicated, like pedestal that are multi-part, and then processes like how we taught it, what this thing is, forms, patterns, etc. These things are pulled in by the mental pole. We give the dog a moment of aporia between the cue and the trigger. Top, neutral, dog constructs a reality, literal abstract reality. He's 4.5 yards apart. He's standing in this direction, looks like a leg vault. I do the thing, he gets the trigger. It confirms or denies whether the plan, the abstract reality, was correct. And that is the process through to satisfaction. The cue and the trigger allow there to be a mental pole. Without the mental pole, the cue fires, the dog fires when they're ready. It's a rushed operation, a reflexive, knee-jerk operation. When we have a cue and a trigger, the dog, for my Frisbee dog to vault with me appropriately, they have to construct an abstract reality that will match what happens. I have to lead them, or I'm trapped chasing the dog, and the dog has the initiative to start the move whenever. Like, it's a terrible, terrible problem in Frisbee. Most of the time it's handled by throwing a flip and putting yourself in position before the dog can finish. And then when the dog finishes, the next disc is in the air. And so you deal with timing in that manner if you don't have a good trigger. And that's how we played Frisbee for forever. Until 10 years ago, maybe. Triggers started to show up. And what I recognized is that where is the trigger? We do a game which is where's the trigger? You give the cue and you withhold the trigger. Touch. Boom. Yes, wow, that was awesome. Right? And now CupCake is going to be in the game. Ready? Touch. Boom. Yes, whoa. That's amazing, right? You'll see her here. Ready? Touch. Boom. Yes, good girl, right? And so that time in between, she's wondering what's going to happen. She's taking it in. Setting up that where is the trigger helps the handler get their shit together. It helps the handler be in front of the dog and be prepared for the dog's actions. There's a bunch of stuff that's really awesome. And for the dog, it allows the dog to assemble the mental pole, to think something, and then to show the self-control and self-discipline to wait for the trigger. So that's the trigger. The physical trigger is whatever activates the dog, Michelle. Yep. It's usually physical. But in the case of the signal that when I was laying it out as like a really awesome obedience person, you would use sit, and the dog would start going on s, and they'd stand or they'd sit, and you wouldn't even recognize it because they know the pattern so well. And then you recognize it and you do circus, sassafras, sit, yes, pay. And then the end of the word becomes the trigger in that situation. The single cue, man, the single cue is it's going to be a tough sell for people too. People do not want to have a trigger. They do not want to have a trigger. And it's so funny because as a Frisbee person, being reliant on split-second timing, literally, and my dog is going 9 feet in the air right now. And so we need to be on point with this, right? Like we're pretty, there's, not having a trigger is unthinkable. Yeah, or the cookie bag. So check this out. Check this out, Byron. The cookie process is the same thing as the cue process. Same exact thing. What do you think of that? Same timing, same thing. I tell my dog, yes, and I reach in the cookie bag and she can't dive in the cookie bag, and then she gets a cookie. And she is really grabby here. She's jumping the trigger. That's the trigger. Oh, game number 4. Where is the cookie? Byron, you didn't get the memo. There's where is the handler? And now there's where is the cookie? Right? That'll be game number 4. That'll be primal game number 4. Because like the moment I mark, here's the cue. Yes. There's the trigger. And we do it completely natural. The dog can't rape the treat bag. The dog can't jump the trigger. And it's only when I'm going here and the dog is pushing on me and it's like, dude, and then they back off and then they get the cookie, right? So the cookie process, yes, is the same as the trigger process. And if I do just that, actually, you know what? I'm going to do just that for maybe 10, 12, 15 reps. Watch what happens. Yes. 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 Touch. Yes. No, don't. CupCake. Yes. Touch. Yes. Boom. Yes. Boom. So she's going to cease. She's going to stop like pushing up on my hand, and I think that's actually pretty valuable for me. That shit bugs me, and I never feel. I don't like reverse luring. I'm not a fan of reverse luring, and I don't mind the. I like the dog to respond naturally to a lure, right? And dogs that have been taught reverse luring are often not as committal and not as natural on responding to lures. And it really busts my groove, man. You know, I rely on natural dog like chasing a cookie thing. And I always struggle to try and get rid of the dumbass pushiness. Like I nip any nasty cookie habits in the bud, right? Jump in the cookie bag and stuff like that. But situationally, having CupCake right here, right, is would set me up. Yes. I think just that will get her face off my hand in the cookie bag, because there'll be a trigger for taking the cookie. And your comment had I think Bobby or Byron. Oh, Bobby, sorry. Yeah, super awesome, Bobby. Thanks, man. Don't work them together. Don't work them together. Structure a game. You can put one dog on the pedestal. I'll actually do that with CupCake right now. So I'll get King out. I'll work some cookies with King. King will be the distraction dog, even though I'm working with him. CupCake will be the whatchamacallit dog, the working dog, right? And I'll put that over there, I think. Yep. So, yes, chill, King, twist, yes. So CupCake, again, is the working dog. Through, yes, good man. Through, yes, good man. CupCake, off, yes, good work. Yes, stall, not you, King, King. CupCake, stall, yes, King, King. You can see I don't really give a shit what King is doing. It's just about the CupCake, right? Through. Yes. Good. Through. Yes. Hoop. Yes. Good man. CupCake, CupCake. Yes. Awesome. Good work. Go to dog stuff. Awesome. So I would get something like that going, Bobby, right? Where you're able to do simple things. And again, if we look at this, if we look at the map, the concrescent play, right? I'm just doing this with CupCake. I'm working on building these eternal objects up here, which are experiences of her holding her pedestal while King works. If I get that, then those eternal objects are available to her when I'm working another dog. And once those eternal objects become available to her, she now has the mental capacity to start to think about doing that. And I can do these dumb little exercises where everything happens perfectly, right? And I can give her a bunch of eternal objects of perfect on the pedestal experience. And I can do it in 60 seconds like that. And then I'm going to be pretty likely to have that behavior when I get further away, when I get more exciting, things like that. It's funny, right? That is funny, Byron. Oh, I thought I put that up. Did put it up, right? No, there it is. Yep, that is funny. All right. Off. Good. You ready? King. Through. Yes. I'm going to do the same thing with her on the ground. It's more challenging here. Twist. Yes. Through. Dude, go do dog stuff. Through. Yes. Good man. I can keep pushing her out of the circle. Through. Yes. Twist. Yes, good girl, good man. Yes. I'd like to get soft eye contact from her out there. That would have been terrific. She's dismissed. If she would have gave me soft eye contact out there, that would have been great. Through. Yes, good man. Hoop. Yes, good man. Excuse me, go do dog stuff. And I'll push her out of the circle. And hopefully, twist, she'll, take a pedestal. And now I can come over here and pay her on the pedestal. Through. Yes, good. Off. Hoop. Yes, good man. Off. Yes, good girl, CupCake. Yes, go do dog stuff. Awesome. So the whole time I was working King, he was, oh, I'm sorry, I had the cameras fucked up. Funny. He was the distraction dog. He was not the working dog, right? CupCake was a working dog. I was dismissing her, but I was dismissing her so that I could pay her elsewhere. Yes, if, here's the thing, Michelle, here's the thing. If you go through process, if you make it happen as the handler, the eternal object is that the dog follows the handler, right? That would be what the dog takes out of it. So you want to have a history and an understanding of the component behaviors being marked. So you have, when I do ball work, I do ball work for my vault stuff, right? And I mark the dog orienting to me. I mark the dog committing. I mark the dog collecting. I mark the dog leaving the ground for the ball. I mark the front feet hitting the ball. I mark the rear feet hitting the ball. I mark the pushing off for the vault. I mark the target of the cookie on the stall. And I mark the target of the cookie on the vault. So when I'm doing my training, all I'm trying to get is her to hear top and vault linearly, like leap so she can't vault, or so she can't stall. And then I'm going to call stall, and I'm looking for her to rock back so that she's trying to stall in her leap. That's really all I'm looking for, right? But I'm marking everything from the orientation through the whole process so that she has an understanding of each piece historically, right? So I've been doing that for a really long time, and I've been catching a lot of shit for it. I give markers and I reinforce with next, right? So I mark the eye contact, I reinforce with action, right? I get the action, it finishes, I mark it, I reinforce with another action. And so my dogs learn that they're successfully navigating gates in order to make the play continue. And so I'm always using these functional rewards of next, and I'm marking these kind of obscure criteria that would interrupt the behavior if my subjective aim, right? If my subjective aim for the skill, the subjective aim here were for doing the behavior, right? My subjective aim when I'm chaining something is to is to get each piece discretely and conceptually, right? I want to get each of those pieces discretely and conceptually. And then once I get them both discretely and conceptually, I want to be able to reinforce or draw attention to any of them, to any one of them. And I do that with marking and reinforcing with next. And it's kind of been blasphemy for a long time. So for me and my dogs, Georgios and his dogs, a few of my clients who actually go through process, any of our training kicks out these eternal objects. Training that doesn't include the mental pole or a clear subjective aim is not going to send the eternal object you want. The subjective form, the subjective tone, right? The dog's classical condition is the subjective tone. As the handler, I have a subjective tone, right? You follow? So I have this as well. I have this subjective tone. I have a subjective aim. I want the behavior. Just put a cookie on it, the dog will fucking get it, and, we're good. If that's the subjective aim, my dog is going to get the same suggestive aim. Yeah, Ron, just put a cookie on it and we're good here. That's the dog's subjective aim if I do it that way. The eternal objects that are retained by the dog are going to be eternal objects that may or may not apply to the dog doing it on their own, or their dog doing it in a different fashion. You follow me? The prehensions, each rep becomes a perished object as well. It's memory, emotion, feeling, like goes into a perished object pile, let's say. And so when they prehend the cue, they pull up all of the iterations, all the feelings, we pull up all of our baggage. And it is part of the subjective tone. All of our baggage, all of our earlier reps, all of our benefits, right? Wow, I'm fucking great at this. Sweet, I can't wait. That's set the moment you hear the game, right? Oh my God, it's my game. That's amazing. Yeah, right? I'm going to win. This is fucking terrific. You get that one too. But if the handler and the team just get it done and just get the cookie, you're at a real crapshoot for what eternal objects you maintain or retain from that. And again, this is from Alfred Whitehead's Process and Reality. This is the philosophy, the organic philosophy, the philosophy of process, also kind of how it's known. He's super popular with neuroscience guys and AI guys right now. He's got some very interesting models, as we can see here. Anyway, hope that makes sense. I'm going to do another rep of pedestal with the CupCake. Get this out of here. Come on. You ready, CupCake? Let's do it. Let's do it. Ready? Excuse me. That's a pretty big correction for me. Excuse me is my no reward marker, and it's a little more than a no reward marker. Mine? Yes. Good. Mine? Yes, awesome. Chill. Mine. Yes, good. Mine. Yes, awesome. And just what? Excuse me. Excuse me. Off. Yes. Good work, mine. All right, and just so you guys know, she can rock this out. Up. Yes, wait. Mine. 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 Awesome. Off. Yes. Great work. Mine. Whoa, whoa, mine. Yes, awesome. Go to dog stuff. Like she can rep it out. It's not a big deal. But before I would just crank those out. That would be what I would do. And what I would have is I would have like all kinds of multiple ability, but the stability I earn on the pedestal would be damaged with such a high subjective tone of her fucking cranking it out. By doing it super mellow like that and super controlled, right? What I wind up with is real cognizant, thoughtful work as to what we're doing here. And that's what I think is creating the eternal objects. Going through that process, I think, like all of this is fucking speculation, man. I'll tell you though, I think I can adjust dog's disposition really well with this right now. This mental and physical pull thing gives me it gives me twice the flexibility as regular behaviorism. And it allows me to take on and shape the classical condition of the dog through my work. And then to adjust my work to deliver what I think would be the pertinent eternal objects and use that training to get a nice subjective tone, a nice classically conditioned state on the dog. So there you go. That's my kind of whole thing on that. Subjective aim, what the handler wants is the subjective aim. What the dog wants is the subjective aim. What the team wants is the subjective aim. They don't all line up. When they all line up, everything is magic. Everything is magic, right? If they don't line up, it's not quite magical. If one of us is really off, it's not happening. We want to bring the dog in on the game and show them the subjective aim and give them the tools to solve their problems. And then they harmonize better with our subjective aim. And then when me and the dog both know how to do it, then the team can start working on doing it. And the team will probably do it correctly from Jump Street, right? So subjective aim, super important. Just getting a cookie on it, just getting the behavior, not enough. It's going to send the wrong message to the dog when you try to generalize that skill. It's going to be a bitch. The dog only knows how to get the cookie and how to rep it out. And they'll struggle with it, right? I got one more thing to show you. One more thing to show you. So I want to show you a pleasure dog, a dog who's just repping it out. When the dog just reps it out, that's such a funny image, man. Let me see. I did some chat GPT stuff with an angry Friedrich Nietzsche. Super funny. Boom. Hang on. Is that one it? No. Process of flow, feeling of flow, process of flow, old. Gosh darn it. I'm sorry, guys. Hang on. There it is. All right. So, you guys see that? It's a black hole at the physical pole. When you just rep it out and the dog doesn't engage their brain, the physical pole is where it all happens. And if the dog doesn't achieve, right, if you are giving, there's a difference between pleasure and enjoyment. Okay, pleasure, you take it to satisfy a physiological need. It's important. It's gone the moment you take it. Just like achievement, right? Difference is when you take pleasure, there's nothing left. There's nothing left over. Enjoyment is pleasure that has lasting effects. It changes your consciousness. When you do something enjoyable, it makes you different somehow. You retain something from it. The memory of it is more than of a physiological thing. It has mental representation and meaning, right? A pleasure cookie or an addictive cookie, or that, the fifth cookie you ate out of the whole bag you ate, meant nothing, right? There's nothing left from it. It's an appetitive, physiological thing. Enjoyment, when we're done with enjoyment, we take something that changes our consciousness. So we also have affirmation and achievement. And affirmation, wow, that was great. And that's awesome if it was great. But if it wasn't great, that's affirmation. If I was going to do it anyway, that's affirmation. And affirmation is a black hole, just like pleasure. You get it and then you need more, and you don't take anything from it. When you achieve, when I do the thing and I achieve it, and somebody says, wow, good job, I say, thank you, you're right, it was a good job. Or thanks, stop it, whatever it is that I do. But I took something from that achievement. There's something more about me now because of that achievement. The idea of concrescence is out of the many become one and are increased by one. And that idea is in the achievement. The subjective aim is, what are we trying to achieve? Right? Satisfaction is having done this through the process. It's set up. I had this itch. I scratched it. It worked. I'm satisfied. It's set up. I had this itch. I scratched it. It didn't work. I still have that itch. Then we go again. Even if we didn't get it, we still move forward, having built the abstract reality, having given it the old college try, and having some additional wisdom to fall back on. So that's the idea. It really is. There's nothing any different, Michelle, except for how we're going to look at what's happening. Again, within behaviorism, you're not allowed to talk about emotions and affects. That's classical conditioning. That's different. You have to do that in an entirely different setting, an entirely different methodology. To mess around with that is crazy. You'll only get in trouble. And man, that comes directly from my classes and my, my dog training shtick for the last 20 years. Classical and operant don't mix. They're always there, but you don't want to fucking conflate them. You don't want to think you're doing something classically and have it be operant. You don't want to think you're doing something operant and have it be classical. It's a train wreck. And this separates a train wreck. It allows me to change my dog's classical conditioning with how I work, and to be aware of the things that are actually impacting the dog within our work. All right, so I'm out, guys. I'm hoarse. I'm gonna meme roll. No, we got patrons. If you dig the show, thank a patron. Would not be happening without our patrons. Patrons get access to the Phenomenology of Play. I'm writing the book right now. There's a bunch of stuff we got going on. You get access to class, other goodies, and access to me. Woohoo. Boom. And I missed my
There is no try.
I missed my cue. Missed my cue. I actually didn't miss the cue. I missed the trigger. But stream is brought to you by Hero Disc USA. I didn't use any of my buttons. Right? Make your dog a hero. Epi is on Team Hero. CupCake, Team Hero. Young up-and-comer. Yeah, there you go. You can tip your dog trainer. That's always useful. All right, I'm going to play us out with meme roll, badass meme roll number 18. And patrons, catch up with us at class. Love to see you. Everyone else, we'll see you soon. Here we go. Boom. Bertha. What's up, CupCake? You did really good, you know. You did really good. Yep. I don't like all that derpa-derpa-der. Don't like the derpa-derpa-der stuff. Ready? Ouse. 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 Mine. Yes. Chill. 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 Yep. See you, Michelle. Ready? Ouse. Yes. Ouse. Yes. Ouse. Yes. Ouse. Yes. Ouse. Mine. Yes. Good work. Good work, CupCake. Chill, chill, chill. Slow to roll. Slow to roll. Chill. What? No. House. 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 Yes. Mine. 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 Awesome. Go do dog stuff. Wow. Super terrific, CupCake. Super terrific. Ready? Yes. Ready? Stand. Mine. Hey, mine. Yes. Mine. Mine. No. Come on. Mine. Stand. Yes, mine. Oops. Mine. Yes. Mine. What? Mine. Yes. Mine. Yes. Mine. Oh, you're going to get it, CupCake. Yes. Mine. Awesome. Go do dog stuff.